Hi love, welcome back. In today's class we're making this beautiful top. If you're new to the channel, my name is Miss Ai and you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you my love, thank you darling, thank you sweetheart for always coming back. This top fits a size medium to large. Let's get right into class. I'll be using lightweight yarn, your stitch marker, your tape measure, a 4.0 mm hook, and your scissors. To begin with, you are going to make a magic ring or a magic circle, and this is how I make mine. After you've made your magic circle, you are going to chain 3, and this chain 3 counts as your first double crochet. You're going to make 4 more double crochets in the magic ring, and in total you should have 5 double crochet including the chain 3. If you're making for a size large, consider making 6 double crochets in the magic ring, and in total you should have 7 double crochets. Pull your yarn after you've made your 4 double crochets, and row 2 you are going to chain 3 and turn your work. We are going to be increasing, so in the very first stitch you are going to put a double crochet, so that counts as your first increase. In the next stitch you are going to put 2 double crochets in the same space, 1 and 2. In the middle stitch you are going to place 3 double crochets in the same stitch. Now inside the following 2 stitches you are going to increase, so the next stitch you are going to put 2 double crochets in the same stitch, and in the last stitch you place 2 double crochets inside the same stitch, and that is the end of row 2. Now row 3 you are going to chain 3, 1 2 3, and you are going to turn your work. We are not going to be working in the chain 3 space but in the next space, so you are going to make a double crochet, 2 double crochets in the same stitch, so 1 and 2. You are going to chain 1 and make 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So that's your first cluster. In the next stitch we are going to make a front post double crochet. So yarn over and insert your hook behind your previous double crochet, yarn over and pull through. You would have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your front post double crochet. On top of the double crochet stitch you are going to make another cluster, and that's 2 double crochet in the same space, chain 1 and 2 double crochet all in the same stitch. We are going to make a front post again, front post double crochet in the next stitch. And in the next stitch we are going to make a cluster, that's 2 double crochets in the same stitch, chain 1 and 2 double crochet in the same stitch. We are going to make a front post again, and we are going to make a cluster in the next stitch. 2 double crochets on top of the double crochets below, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. You are going to make a front post double crochet in the next stitch, and in the last 2 stitches we are going to make our cluster, 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. Now we will be left with your last stitch, and inside the last stitch we are going to make a double crochet, and this is the end of row 3. You are going to chain 2, turn your work, and now we are going to be working in the chain 1 space. So we are going to make a cluster again in that chain 1 space. That's 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, all in the chain 1, the previous chain 1 space. Now we are going to make back post double crochet in the front post, the previous front post crochet. We'll be making back post, and this is how to make your back post double crochet. Now in the chain 1 space we are going to make, you will skip all the stitches and make a cluster in the chain 1 space. So cluster is 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets. In the previous front post we are going to make a back post double crochet. So that's the stitch. So you're going to go behind and make a back post double crochet. Now into the chain 1 space you are going to make a cluster, 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. You are going to keep alternating this until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to make your last double crochet and chain 2, turn your work. Row 5 is a repetition of row 4. So you are going to, inside your chain 1 space, you are going to make a cluster, 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. Inside your front post double crochet, you are going to make a front post. Inside your chain 1 space, you are going to make 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. Inside the front post double crochet, you are going to make a front post double crochet. And where you see chain 1, you make your cluster and keep repeating this until the end. At the end of the row, you are going to make double crochet. Now row 6, you are going to chain 2, turn your work, and we are going to be repeating row 5 for row 6. So inside the chain 1 space, you are going to make 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, all in the same stitch. Inside the front post, we are going to be making back posts double crochets inside the previous front post double crochet. Inside the cluster, we are going to make the chain 1 space. You make 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. So row 6 is a repetition of row 5. The only difference is the back post and front post double crochet. So keep doing this until the end of the row and we shall meet our row 7. Row 7, you are going to chain 2, turn your work, and we are going to be making something quite different. Don't work in the chain 2 space. You are going to make a double crochet in the next stitch and make a double crochet in the following stitch. So in total you should have 3 double crochets including the chain 2 space. Now inside the chain 1 space, you are going to make 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet. And now inside the next 2 stitches you are going to make 2 double crochets, so 1 and 2. Now inside your front post double crochet you are going to make a front post double crochet. Now you are going to make a double crochet in the next stitch, make another double crochet in the next stitch, and it brings you to the chain 1 space. You are going to make a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet, and 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. Now inside the front post double crochet you are going to make a front post double crochet, and you are going to keep repeating this until the end of row 7. So at the end of row 7 you are going to make your last double crochet in the last double crochet stitch, and row 8 you are going to chain 2 and turn your work. Now if you are making for a size large, when you get to row 8 you don't have to skip any stitch, but if you are working for a small or medium, row 8 you have to skip 2 stitches and make your first double crochet and make your double crochet in the next stitch, and it brings you to the chain 1 space, and make a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. And now you work 2 double crochet in the first 2 stitches, 1 and 2. So you don't work a double crochet in the last stitch, right? But if you're making for a size large, please make a double crochet in that last stitch. So you should, now you do your back post double crochet, skip the beginning stitch, the first stitch, and make a double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and now it brings you to the chain 1 space. Make a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. Make 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches and skip the stitch, the double crochet stitch, and make your back post double crochet. And you are going to keep repeating this until the end of the row. At the end of the row you make your last double crochet on top of the chain 2 space. Row 9 is the same as row 8, so you are going to chain 2, turn your work, chain 2, turn your work, and you're going to skip the first stitch, the first 2 stitches, the chain 2 space included, and you're going to make double crochets in the next 2 stitches before your chain 1 space. So make 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches, and now you are at your chain 1 space. Now you are going to make a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet. Inside the next 2 stitches you are going to make 2 double crochets. Now you are going to skip the last stitch and you are going to make a front post double crochet. Now you are going to skip the beginning stitch and make 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches before your chain 1 space. And now inside the chain 1 space we are going to make our V stitch. That is a double crochet, chain 1 and a double crochet all in the same stitch. In the next 2 stitches you are going to make 2 double crochets. And you are going to repeat row 9. You're going to repeat this until the end of the row. Now for row 10, 11, 12, 13 is the same. You're going to be repeating row 8 and 9 until you are at row 12, and row 12 will be the end of the row for the bra cup. And with this we are going to make 2 of this. So when you are done with this first one, when you get to row 12, make a chain and cut and fasten your yarn, and you are going to repeat this same exact process for the other cup, and we shall join them together. So go ahead and work your rows until you have row 12 and repeat the same exact thing for your next cup. This is the end of my row 12, and this is what your work should be looking like. At the end of the row, you are going to chain 1 or 2, cut and fasten your yarn, and repeat the same exact cup, the same exact panel for your next one. So this is my 2 panels, this is my 2 cups completed, and we are going to be joining these 2. So in joining them, you are going to chain 1, slip stitch to the other cup, and you should be having something like this. You are going to turn your second cup, and you are going to make 2 slip stitches in the next 2 rows. So we are working our slip stitches in rows. So you go to the next row and make a slip stitch. So that's 2. Now you turn your work, and inside the chain 1 space, we are going to make a double crochet. That is 1 double crochet, and we are going to slip stitch 2 times in the next 2 rows at the edge. And you are going to turn your work and make 2 double crochets in the middle stitch. So the stitches may look very tiny and uneasy to see, but you still have to make 2 double crochets in the stitches. And again, you are going to slip stitch 2 times in the next 2 rows. Turn your work again, turn your work, and make 3 double crochets in the space, in the middle space. So the first one is 1, second is 2. Now you are going to make 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. 2 and 3. And again, you are going to slip stitch 2 times to the other border, the row of your other cup. You are going to turn your work and make 4 double crochets in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now you are going to slip stitch 2 times in the next 2 rows. Turn your work again, and you are going to make 5 double crochets in the next 5 stitches. So this is what you are going to do until the end of the cup. So we are going to be attaching these 2 together until the very end. So keep alternating. So row 1 was 1, we went to 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next would be 6, 7, 8. So keep doing this until you are done attaching all sides together, and I'll meet you when I'm done. But you can watch the video as I walk you through a few more rows. This is my last row, and make your double crochets until the end, and I'm going to slip stitch. At this point I only have one row to slip stitch, so make your slip stitch, chain 1, and we are going to cut and fasten all loose ends, and this is what your work should be looking like after attaching both panels together. And in the middle I had 11 double crochets. So cut and fasten, and now we are going to be working at the size of our top. So with the size of the top, we are going to connect our yarn. So make a slip knot and connect your yarn to the side, and you are going to chain 17. If you're making for a size large, consider chaining more rows, like 20, and if you're making for a small size, consider chaining 16. I'm going to be chaining 17. After you chain your 17, you are going to skip 2, and inside the third stitch you are going to make a double crochet. Keep making double crochets in each stitch until the end of the row. At the end of the row, we are going to slip stitch 2 times at the border row, so in 2 rows, so 1 and 2, just as we did for the middle side, and you are going to turn your work, and inside the first stitch you are going to make a double crochet. And you're going to keep making double crochets in each of the following stitches until the end of the row. At the end of the row, make sure you count your row and you have 16 double crochets in each of the rows. Until the end. Row 3, you are going to chain 2, turn your work. You are going to make a double crochet and keep making double crochets until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to slip stitch 2 times in the following 2 rows of your cup. You are going to turn your work, and this is row 4. You are going to make double crochets in each stitch until the end of the row. At the end of row 4, you are going to chain 2. For row 5, turn your work, make double crochets until the end. But with the row 5, when we get to the end, we are going to start increasing from row 5. So at the end of the row, you are going to make another double crochet. So you are putting 2 double crochet in 1 stitch. So that is increase. Now you are going to slip stitch 2 times in the cup, the border row, turn your work, and row 6 we are going to be increasing. So in the very beginning stage, we are going to place 2 double crochets. So this is 1 and 2. Now keep working your double crochets until the end of the row. Row 7, chain 2, work double crochets until the end in each stitch until the end of the row, and at the end of the row we shall increase again. So at the end of the row, in the last stitch, place 2 double crochets in the same space, and you are going to slip stitch 2 times in the border row and turn your work. Row 8, you are going to work 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So from row 5 to row till you are done with your row, we are going to be increasing, and it's the same exact step. So keep alternating until you are done. So I'm at the end, and you make your last 2 slip stitches, chain 1, cut, and fasten your yarn. And we are going to repeat the same exact process for the other side of the cup. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you when you're done. If you haven't subscribed to the channel up until this point, my love, my darling, my baby, please do. And if you've made it up until this point, my darling, kindly let us know what you think about the video and leave us a heart sign under the comment section. We'll be grateful. Now we are going to be working our full top to the length, and now you're going to connect your work, your yarn at one corner of your work, and you're going to chain 2. Now we are going to be working half double crochets from this point. Now in each stitch you're going to work half double crochets. So work half double crochets in each stitch until you get to the base of your bra cup. I'm at the base of the bra cup, and you are going to be working 2 half double crochets in each stitch, because that place is a bit wide. So work 1 and 2 all in the same stitch, and now to the middle point where we fasten our yarn, we are going to place 1 half double crochet. So 2 half double crochets in the following 2 stitches. In the middle point, place 1 half double crochets and place 2 half double crochets in the following 2 space. And this is 1, 2, and 1 and 2, and it brings you to 11 double crochet stitches. You are going to place 1 half double crochet in each stitch until you get to the other side of the base, and you are going to repeat the same exact process. So you're going to work half double crochets until the end of the row. So that's the base, and at the base you are only going to work 2 half double crochets in each stitch. Now at the end of the row, you're going to chain 2, turn your work. This is row 2 of the body, and inside each stitch you are going to work half double crochets until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to chain 2, turn your work, and from row 3 until you get your desired length for the top, you are going to be working half double crochets. So keep doing this until you get to your desired length, and we shall meet. I made 16 rows, and you can make more or less. At the end of your row, you are going to chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn, and you should be having something like this. Now we are going to be working the hand. You are going to be attaching the hand, and to attach the hand, I'll be attaching it in the middle shell stitches. So we have 5. So in the middle is where I want to attach my strand, but you can attach it anywhere. Just measure as you desire and attach your yarn. Chain 2, and inside the first stitch you are going to make half double crochets. So you're going to be working 7 half double crochets in the following 7 stitches. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, and our chain 2 count as a stitch, so making it 7. Chain 2, turn your work, and inside the first stitch you are going to make a half double crochet, and keep working half double crochet in each stitch until the end of the row. At the end of the row you should have 7 stitches. Chain 2 again. So at the end of the row you should have 7 stitches. Chain 2, turn your work, make your first half double crochet in the very first stitch, and keep working your half double crochets in each stitch until the end of the row. So you're going to keep working your strands until you have 26 rows. That is what I made. If you want your strands to be more longer, consider making 28, and if you want your strands to be a bit shorter, consider making 24 rows. But I made 26 rows, so I'm going to go ahead and make my 26 rows, and I'll meet you when I have my 26 rows completed. This is what it's looking now. So after my 26 rows, we are going to be attaching our strand to the back side of our work. So what I did was to count 5 stitches from our brow cup, and I'm going to place a stitch marker, and from the seat stitch I'm going to be attaching my strand in the following 7 stitches. So you can place your stitch marker so you would know exactly where you are starting from, or the end of your marking points. So now you are going to attach your work, and in each stitch chain 1, and in each stitch both your work and the strand you are going to be working slip stitches. So you are going to slip stitch 7 times in the following 7 stitches. So keep doing this, and I'll meet you at the end when I'm done slip stitching mine. So at the end of your slip stitch, you're going to chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn. And we are going to be doing the same exact for the other side, attaching our other strands. You should be having something like this. Now I'm going to walk you through how to attach your second strands. So attach your yarn and chain 2 and work 6 half double crochets in the next 6 stitches. Your chain 2 count as a half double crochet. So in total you should have 7 half double crochets. row 2 to row 26, you're going to chain 2 and work 7 half double crochets until the end, and at the end of your row you're going to slip stitch at the back side of your work. So I'm done slip stitching, and you are not going to cut your yarn, but you're going to chain 1, and we are going to work single crochet border around the strands and around the entire work. So wherever you see the half double crochet border, you're going to put single crochet, and in the middle you put single crochet. The open space, you put 1 single crochet in each of the spaces, and the close and open spaces all around your work. So this is the open space, the closed space, open space. So we are going to work this all around. So after you've worked around the strands, you are going to work, when you get to the bra cup, you are going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch. This is what your work should be looking like. So keep working 1 single crochet all around, and when you get to the strands, you alternate between working a single crochet in the open space and a single crochet in the closed space. In the middle stitch, you're going to make 1 single crochet, and keep working your 1 single crochet all around. At the end of the row, you are going to chain 1, cut and fasten your yarn. We are going to start working our sleeves, and to do that we are going to attach your work, and we are going to work single crochet all around our outer sleeve or the outer space. So in each stitch you are going to place 1 single crochet all around, and when you get to the strands, again you are going to repeat the same as you did when you were working the other part of the strand. So it's a single crochet in the space, and in the small space you place a single crochet. So work your border, and I'll meet you when I'm done working around the strands. When you're done working the strands, you're going to slip stitch in the first chain 1 space and chain 5. Chain 5 count as your first treble. So you're going to chain 1, skip 1, make a treble crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1, make a treble crochet in the next stitch. So this is the pattern for row 1 of the sleeves. Chain 1, skip 1, make a treble. You are going to repeat this all around the sleeves until where you started from your chain 5 space. On top of your chain 5, you are going to make a slip stitch in the 4th stitch. Chain 1 and make your slip stitch. So this is row 1 of the sleeve. Row 2, you are going to chain 5, make a treble in the very first space. Chain 1, make a treble in the next space. And you are going to keep repeating the treble mesh until you are at row 14. So keep doing this until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to slip stitch inside the 4th stitch and chain 5 again. So you are going to repeat this mesh until you are at row 14. If you want your sleeves more longer, make 16 rows, and if you want it more shorter, it all depends on your preference, but I'm going to make 14 rows of treble mesh, and I'll meet you when I'm done with my 14 rows. This is my row 14, and this is what your work should be looking like at this point. Now we are going to be making our cluster flare, and to make that we are going to chain 3 and place 7 double crochets in the first open space. The chain 3 count as your first double crochet, so you are going to place 6 more double crochets, making it 7. Inside the next stitch, you are going to make a single crochet. Inside the following stitch, you are going to make 7 double crochets. In the next stitch, you are going to make a single crochet. Now you are going to be alternating between 7 single crochets and a single crochet, 7 single crochets, a single crochet, all around until the end of the row. At the end of the row, slip stitch on top of your chain 3 space and chain 5. Place a double crochet in the same space. So this counts as your first V stitch. Chain 5 and make a double crochet in the middle of your V stitch. So in the middle of your double crochets, your previous double crochet, so that will be on the 4th stitch. Make a double crochet, chain 2 and a double crochet, so that's your second V stitch. Chain 5 again on top of your previous double crochets, you're going to make a V stitch. So we are making the V stitch on top of the 4th stitch in the previous row. So keep making your V stitches until the end of the row. At the end of the row, slip stitch on the third stitch of your chain 5 space and chain 3. Chain 3 count as your first double crochets. So you are going to put 6 more double crochet in the same stitch, making it 7. And inside the chain 5 space, you're going to make a single crochet. Inside the V stitch, you're going to make 7 double crochets, all in the same stitch. And inside the V stitch, you're going to make, inside the chain 5 space, you're going to make a single crochet. So keep repeating this until the end of the row. So V stitch is 5 double crochet, 5 single crochet, 5 chains is a single crochet. So keep repeating this until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you're going to slip stitch on top, and you are going to make another V stitch row. So you're going to slip stitch 3 times until you are at the middle of the 7 double crochet. And to make your V stitch, you're going to chain 5 and make another double crochet in the same space. So that's your first V stitch. You are going to chain 5 and keep repeating this until the end. Keep placing your V stitch on top of the chains. There's 7 double crochets below. So you're going to keep repeating this until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to make your shell stitches again. So slip stitch to close off, chain 3, and place 6 double crochets in the first stitch. Chain 3 count as a double crochet. In the next chain 5 space, you are going to make a single crochet. And you are going to repeat this until the end of the row, and we shall stop at this row 6. But if you want to do more, feel free to do so, because this is a 2 layer. So this is our first, and we shall make another layer. At the end of the shell row, you are going to slip stitch, cut and fasten your yarn, and you should be having something like this. So this is row 6. Now we are going to make our second layer underneath. So you are going to join your yarn inside the mesh space, and you are going to chain 5. And now we are going to be working 3 treble rows of our mesh. So just as we were doing, we were working our treble rows, we are going to be working 1 treble in each stitch, chain 1, a treble in each stitch, chain 1 all around, and when you get to the end, you are going to slip stitch. So that's row 1. Row 2, you are going to chain 5. And row 2 and row 3 is quite clear because we've worked similar rows from the beginning of our sleeves. So you're going to repeat the same exact thing until you are at row 3. After row 3, we are going to repeat our shell stitches for 4 more rows. So to start off our shell stitches, you are going to chain 3, make 7 double crochets 6 double crochets in the same stitch. The chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so in total you should have 7 double crochets. In the next stitch, we make our single crochet, 7 double crochet, single crochet, keep alternating until the end of the row. And at the end of the row, you are going to slip stitch on top of your first 3 double chain space. Row 2 is going to be our V stitch, so you are going to slip stitch 3 times until you are at the middle of your shell. And to make a V stitch, you are going to chain 5. Chain 5 counts as a double crochet, chain 2, and make a double crochet in the same stitch. You are going to chain 5 and keep making V stitches on top of your double crochets until the end of the row. So I made 8 rows for the second layer, and at the end of the row you are going to slip stitch, cut and fasten your yarn, and you are done with the sleeves. This is what it's looking like. You go ahead and repeat the same exact process for the other side. Now we are going to be working the borders of our back, the top. And to do that, we are going to attach our yarn and work single crochets, chain 1, and place single crochet in each stitch until the end, until you are at the top or the end of the row. And it's the same as we're doing for the sleeves. So with half double crochet, you might have to take your time so you don't get it mixed up. So make single crochet in the open space, single crochet in the closed space until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to chain 1, turn your work, and now we are going to work single crochets in each stitch until the end of the row. At the end of the row, now we are going to be creating our mesh or our whole space for the strand. So you are going to chain 3, turn your work. You are going to skip 1, work half double crochet in the following 2 stitches, 1 and 2, chain 1, skip 1, chain 1, skip 1, work 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Chain 1, skip 1, keep working 2 half double crochets in 2 stitches until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to make your last half double crochet, chain 1, turn your work, and now we are going to work half double crochets in each stitch all across the border. So in the chain 1 space, we are going to work 2 single crochets, and in the half double crochet space, we are going to work 1 single crochet. So just work your border, your last single crochet border until the end of the row. At the end of the row, I'm just going ahead to work single crochets to connect to the sleeve of the top, so I can have defined edges. At the end of the row, you are going to slip stitch, chain 1 and cut and fasten your yarn. Repeat the same exact thing for the other side, and when you are done, you are going to make a long chain and lace your back, and we are done. If you enjoyed this video, please leave us a heart comment under the comment section. Let us know what you think about the video, and if you are new here and you haven't subscribed still, or you are an OG and you haven't subscribed, my love, if not done well, please do. Until we meet next week in class, my baby, my darling, my sweetheart, is bye-bye. So let's put this on the mannequin and see how it looks like. Bye-bye.